Dual carriageways are roads that have a barrier separating the opposing traffic. They can have multiple lanes, they can also have one lane going each side. When you're joining it from a traffic light controlled junction, it's nice and straightforward, especially when you're turning left. You just wait for the green light and then turn if the exit is clear. If you're turning right, it's a bit more complicated. If you remember the previous module where we were talking about turning right at traffic lights, the same rules apply. It's just a bit more tricky here because it's a much bigger junction, and you also want to make sure that once you've turned, if possible, aim for the left lane. This makes it much easier since the left lane is the lane that we're driving. If you haven't aimed for the left lane, you can change lanes afterwards when it's safe. In this kind of situation, make sure that you keep the pedestrian crossing clear. You stay behind the white line until it's safe for you to move on. So like now, the lights have changed. We've got a filter arrow telling us that we can go, and the cars in front have started moving. And then again, aim for the left lane. Where there are box junctions, you can actually wait in the middle, just as long as your exit is clear. Once there's no oncoming traffic blocking you, you can make your turn. So if you look at this sign here, it's telling us you're coming up to a junction here by the dual carriageway. So this is not quite long enough to be a slip road. You really have to slow down a lot, check your mirrors, maybe even come to a stop, check the right properly, and then if it's clear, you carry on. Do not go until you make sure that it's safe first. And you saw there it said give way, so whenever you're joining the dual carriageway, you're the one that has to give way, and then look out for these signs as well that tell you which way you need to drive. In this situation, you can only turn left, you can't turn right there. And remember, a lot of these cars that are on the dual carriageway are going pretty fast, so you want to make sure it's safe before you join it, and then once you've joined it, you want to put lots of gas on, build up your speed really quickly, and join the traffic. Whenever you're changing lanes, you want to make sure you check your mirrors first. It's really important that you check your center, and then the side mirror that you're going into, and then signal. It's best to change lanes one at a time. Don't change more than one lane at a time, otherwise that could be quite dangerous. Before changing your lanes as well, it's important to remember that there may be vehicles hidden in a blind spot. You may even have a quick check over your shoulder before you change lanes. And when you're changing lanes, avoid going in front of lorries like this car has done, because that can be quite dangerous. And we know we drive on the left, but if you want to go back to the left for some reason, look out for these signs that tell you there's a slip road on the left with cars joining in from the left. So you wouldn't want to change lanes now, because those vehicles that are joining don't expect you to just change lanes as they're actually going into that lane themselves. And also look ahead. If there are any vehicles in the left lane that you want to join that are slowing down to turn, it wouldn't be a good idea to go behind them at this time. Wait until you've gone past them first, check your mirrors and signal again, and then move over if it's safe to do so. Look out for when lanes are closed as well. Just like here, you see the left hand lane is closed further down. So you can check your mirrors and move to the middle lane in good time. And then once the lane's open again further down, check your mirrors and move back to the left lane, because that's the lane that we drive in, unless you're overtaking or unless you're turning right on a dual carriageway. Once you're on the dual carriageway already, anybody joining has to give you priority. But you can slow down a bit or change lanes if you can to make it easier for everyone to keep moving. And those people on the left have to wait for you because you're already on the road and they have to give you priority. On a dual carriageway, you can actually turn right. And if you know you're turning right, you want to move to the right hand lane in good time. Once you know you're turning right, check your mirrors and signal, and you want to change lanes one at a time. So move to the middle lane, check your mirrors again, and then move over into the right lane. Do this well before you reach the junction. Then once you get there, make sure when you're turning that you're doing it in a safe way. Don't just follow the car in front of you, because when they've gone, you might have been safe, but then when it's your turn, there might be a car coming towards you. So make sure you're patient, wait for a safe gap. And then look out for these signs that tell you which side to turn on as well, in case you're not sure which side to turn on. When you're turning right as well, make sure you go into the far right lane. So here, a lot of drivers forget to go all the way to the right and then end up being in the lane for going straight. Use the far right lane all the way to the right so you make your turn. These lights apply to you because you can see the white line on the floor there, the stop line. If that line wasn't there, those lights wouldn't apply to you. But because the line was there, it does apply to you. You can also exit the dual carriageway using slip roads. Now, slip roads are much easier to come off than T-junctions because you have plenty of space to slow down and come off. Whereas T-junctions is quite a sharp turn, and sometimes you get a warning telling you that you're coming up to one. In these kind of situations, you want to signal very early, let people know and slow down early as well. Bring your speed right down and check this new speed limit on the new road as well. And we don't stop for pedestrians here because this is a dual carriageway. You wouldn't want to just stop suddenly from a high speed road. You'd carry on in this situation unless the pedestrian was in the road. And if you are coming off on a slip road, just make sure you go into the slip road nice and early. Don't wait for it to fully open up first before you go in there. Let everyone know that you're going in there by going into it very early, as soon as it opens up.